Welcome to Malcolm Reed's How to Barbecue Right, a podcast where we talk about barbecue, share recipes, and discuss all things delicious. And now, here's your host, Malcolm and Rochelle Reed.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Barbecue Right podcast. I'm your host, Malcolm Reed, and joined by my lovely and talented and got her Luck of the Irish Green Mossy Oak shirt on today, Miss Southern Chell.
This is the only green shirt
It's the only green one I can find. Mine's not even good Irish green. I don't know, what would you call this? Pastel? Easter egg green?
Lime.
Lime green?
It's fuchsia lime.
But we're back with another edition of the How to Barbecue Right podcast, and it is St. Pat. We're recording this on St. Patrick's Day. It'll release, I don't know when it's going to release.
Tomorrow.
Is tomorrow Friday?
Yeah.
I'm so lost on days.
It's spring break.
It's been
week.
spring break, but it felt like snow days because it came a blizzard last Saturday. Didn't last but for one day, but it messed up my turkey hunting.
It was very, very cold
Michael's
Saturday.
turkey hunting.
Yeah.
But yeah, we cooked a lot of stuff. We went to camp last weekend and did some cooking, so I thought that's what we'd talk about today, Chell, unless you got some other plans.
First, I wanted to talk about our big grand opening anniversary celebration.
Anniversary, yeah. Is it still grand opening? Or
It's our grand
okay
opening
to
anniversary. We're calling it the Shop-A-Versary.
the GOA? It's a great event. It's basically demo days, right?
Yeah, it's a demo day.
That's what we're looking at it.
So
When is this?
Saturday, March 19th from 9 to 2
March is almost over.
in Hernando, Mississippi. We'll have Traeger grills out cooking. We'll have
Who else? Bull balls?
bull balls cooking
Boiling
crawfish.
crawfish?
How much crawfish did you get?
I don't know how many. I bet you they bought a couple 100 pounds anyway. We're doing, it ain't like a truckload or nothing, but it's enough for everybody to try some crawfish the bull boss way.
We got 2 rib experts cooking ribs on the Outlaw Smokers.
Yep. We got, who's it, Mojo and Dustin Rudd. Mm-hmm. What's Dustin's team name?
Blue Collar Barbecue.
Blue Collar Barbecue and Tennessee Mojo. We've got Jamie Williams from Swine Life doing some redneck beignets. That means
What are redneck beignets?
little biscuits cut up and fried.
In the top with the cinnamon sugar.
Yeah. They're delicious.
I bet they are.
They're good on Traeger. You ever had them on Traeger? That's the first time I ever had them on Traeger.
Didn't we do a TikTok? It was
Yeah, we did a
Cinnamon
TikTok.
Toast Crunch Bombs.
Yeah, they're good.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
Ball them up and roll them and put them on a pellet grill. I can't imagine fried. They're going to taste like little donuts. They'll taste like beignets. If you do them on Traeger, it didn't really. Did you get a beignet taste out of it, or maybe a little? I could see.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then Brian's doing a PK rib.
Grill demo using Weber, probably a Weber with grill grates or a PK with grill grates,
PK with grill
and
grates.
the How to Barbecue Right Gateway drum. He's going to be doing tri-tips on the drum probably, and then a ribeye steak demo.
We also have a kid zone.
Kid zone. I saw the football man back there. He's blowed up and ready to go. Yeah, I guess we're gonna have contests for kids to win a
Yeah.
prize. They got some little
And hot dogs
trinkets
for the
for
kids.
them. Hot dogs for the kids. You got balloon animals.
George Strait's coming.
No, he is coming to Little Rock. I saw somebody had some tickets on Facebook to get. Yeah, they're trying to sell their George Strait tickets to Little Rock. That's not far. He could just come on over here and hang out with us.
So, Tyler, you looked for a George Strait cutout, right?
I did, and it's very hard to find that.
Yeah, who would have thought you can't find a cutout of George Strait somewhere? How many years has he been in business? He's been doing it for a while.
Longer than I've been alive.
I figure one of the boot companies or a hat company or a beer company or somebody would at least had some promo George Strait stand-up stuff,
Well, that was all that was available, and it was all super expensive. So he must just be very picky.
Oh, they're
about who-
collectibles, huh?
Yeah.
I bet he's real tight on his licensing.
Yeah, I bet he is too.
Yeah, I'm like that. I don't want nobody just putting images of me out there.
Yeah, you and George Strait.
How did we get on?
We'll also have cake.
Oh yeah, you're having a anniversary birthday cake
Yeah,
with the what'd you have put on the cake?
just the shop logo.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, it's going to be a fun day. So,
Yeah.
and the weather's going to be nice in Hernando this Saturday. I think the highs in the upper 60s, sunshine.
Yeah.
No rain.
It'll be a nice day, so come on out if you're around Hernando to our big Shop-A-Versary.
From 9 to 2.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure on the radio ad I said 10 to 2.
Then they changed.
9 a.m.'s a secret.
Just squeeze an extra hour in. I'm not going to be here at 9. I'm coming in at a hard 9:55. Watch. I'm protesting that extra hour. I better save me a redneck beignet. Oh. It's going to be fun, though. I'm excited.
Okay. So
What are you the most excited about trying?
crawfish
Me too.
in the cake.
In the cake. I don't know. The ribs ought to be good.
Yeah, the ribs will be good. So what do we cook at camp this weekend?
Man. We worked up so everybody's had Crystal burgers, right? Or what's
White
the other
Castle?
one? White Castle, or we call them Crystals in the South, but I guess up north they have White Castle. But it's the little bitty square hamburgers with kind of the mystery meat on it. I don't know if it's
mystery.
it's supposed to be ground beef. It don't seem like it. But we did our version, the little Hawaiian roll style. Y'all know I love doing Hawaiian roll where you split the buns open and you put cheese and all that stuff in there. Mm-hmm. I've done it with like crawfish, pizza rolls, roast beef. I don't know if I've ever done a barbecue, and I need to try that. But I've done them all kinds of ways.
I do barbecue and to take places, yeah.
But this time we did the cheeseburger, which is a take on little Crystal or White Castle burgers. And instead of making I'm going to do this recipe like probably for a TikTok or something because it was so good. But we did it with just like sauteed up some onions, threw a pound of ground beef in a skillet.
I threw a little garlic.
Yeah, threw a little garlic in there, brown that off.
And season it with prime beef. Swine life
prime beef. So the meat tasted good, but it was kind of, loose, like just brown ground beef. And then you cut those Hawaiian rolls open and put a layer of cheese down. Like, would you just use cheddar, right?
Yeah, like sandwich cheese.
Sliced.
Yeah, but it wasn't just like
that makes your
American
foundation. So all the meat don't just sit right on the bread. You put the cheese down, spread the meat out on top of the cheese, covered it with more shredded cheese, and put dill pickles on it. Then put the top bun on, and then covered it in like a melted butter, seasoned up mixture.
A Worcestershire, a little more seasoning.
Yeah, probably a little mustard flour or ground mustard. So you get that flavor of the mustard pickle and onion in it. Dude, I'm telling you, these things were so good. And when you just did them in the oven.
Yeah.
It was just like 30 minutes or something like that.
And I didn't use Hawaiian rolls that I sliced. I used the Hawaiian Rolls slider buns.
Okay. Which
I liked them better because I didn't have to slice them.
They look like little Crystal or White Castle burgers.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all connected and you just cut them loose, but man, they were good. The bottom's got a little crunchy. I like that, cooking them in the full in the pan because the bottom gets a little crunchy. Yeah. So the top still stays nice and soft and soaks up all that butter mixture on top. And then you got, the only thing it needed was like some kind of dip. Like if you'd have took mayonnaise and mustard or mayonnaise and ketchup and made a little, a fry sauce, like a burger sauce.
Yeah.
Where you could dip that little sandwich in that. Man.
Or you could have used Thousand Island, I guess.
You could have, yeah.
I'd rather
you
have
could do them.
mayonnaise
You could do those like Big Mac style if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Like layer it up.
We also did pizza rolls, and that was, you kind of did the recipe you already have, but you added sausage to the sauce.
Yes, that was excellent. So Tyler, you would like this one. We did like a pound of ground sausage, and you could have used Italian sausage if you wanted to. We just used breakfast sausage. Browned it up and then mixed our pizza sauce, or I think it was just like Rao's in a jar.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
I have no idea, Rao's.
RAO's, apostrophe S. I think I call it Rao's.
They have a really good brand.
Yeah, but it's not. It doesn't have a lot of sugar in it.
Yeah,
and it's a really good sauce, and so we just mixed that with it. Same thing. Split your buns, and we put a layer of sliced mozzarella down first on it, then the pizza and sausage sauce. Then more cheese, like more shredded mozzarella, then pepperonis, then jalapenos, then the top bun, and then garlic butter melted over the top of that one. And that one was dynamite too.
Man.
I'm a fan of these little sliders.
You always have been.
Anything you can melt cheese and bread on, man, it's so good.
What's your favorite? Because you started out, you love the
little
ham and
biscuits.
cheese.
Yeah. My favorite... That's a tough call.
And now you've done the crawfish, you've done the burger, you've done the pizza.
It's probably going to be the pizza.
You've also done the mini cheesesteak ones.
Yeah, those were good too. It's probably going to be the pizza, followed by the crawfish, followed by the new cheeseburger, followed by the old original ham, and then followed by whatever's next, whatever we can decide to slide. Why do you think they call them sliders?
I don't know.
Oh, slide right into your mouth, I guess. I don't know. You got me on that. I've always wondered that. Why sliders?
You may Google it real quick.
No, it's okay. But we cooked those two. We did. So our next.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
The name originated in the 1940s when sailors in the U.S. Navy would refer to mini burgers as sliders because of their extreme greasiness.
That fits.
They slid right through you.
Slid right. See, that was what I was originally thinking. Not they slid into your mouth; they slide right through you. But see, that's why you double up the cheese. It slows it down a little bit, creates a little friction in there.
It does say in just 1 or 2 bites, the burger would just slide right down.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of marketing teams need to know what that.
What that's for. Sliders.
You might want to lean into that one. Yeah.
But you worked on a dip recipe because we're having a dip contest. That's we like doing these. What do you call them? Morale builders or something? What do you call them at the office? It's inner office morale builders.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Try to keep the company morale up. So we have these little inner office contests. And
I think it just
the deal is, you've heard us talk about them before, I'm sure. The deal is, though, if you come in last in one, you get to pick the next whatever it's going to be, whatever category. So
who gets to pick this one?
I don't know his name. I don't even know if he works here anymore.
I think he made she crab soup. I don't.
Yeah. So I made this delicious, and this was gourmet.
It was.
I think.
Was.
So in our office, you only win $100 if you win.
And a trophy.
Bragging rights and trophy. I think I spent $300 making this she crab soup. I mean, I bought, I don't know how many pounds of blue crab. It was just, $40 a little pint, not even a pint, like a half pint container.
You made your own fish stock.
I made my own shrimp stock. I bought some raw shrimp and I would put some work in on this and got dead last. And it was delicious. I bought a dry vermouth to blend into it, like right before you serve it.
If only someone would have told you.
Don't serve shrimp to people that are used to eating veiny sausages.
Yes.
If I'd have made some old canned Hormel chili, I'd have probably come in first.
People like things that they're used to, and when they're judging.
And somebody said it tastes like shrimp. I was like, well, shrimp's delicious.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the selling
Too
point.
seafoody. Too much crab. I got all kinds of weird comments on my soup.
He's not bitter about it at all.
I'm not. So the next round I said, all right, I'm going to choose dips.
Do you know what dip you're cooking?
Yeah, I'm getting the French onion dip from Kroger. I'm going to put it in a bowl and give somebody some Ruffles, and I'm first place. I guarantee I'm going to get my $100.
I feel like everybody that's won has done something similar,
Yeah.
The margarita contest.
That's what I was saying.
Similar.
You can't overthink this thing. You want to get real fancy, go buy a 7-layer dip from Kroger.
So I tried out 2 dip recipes.
Yep. That's what I was going to ask you. How did you come up with these? Is it just you saw them on Pinterest or?
Yeah, kind of. I Googled some stuff. Yeah. I was wanting a hot Cajun dip and a cold Mexican style dip.
Yeah.
That's really kind of what the 2 different recipes that I was going after.
And so you were testing them to see what you thought, which one you wanted to go with?
Yeah. Now I did a hot shrimp dip, and it was very good.
Oh, yeah. No, it was amazing.
I sauteed some veg, some onions, red pepper, garlic. When that got done, threw in my shrimp really briefly. Seasoned it up really good with king crawl. Threw in my shrimp really briefly.
They were chopped.
Yeah, they were chopped. Then threw in my cream cheese. Let that melt. Mix it all up with some more cheese and some mayonnaise and some sour cream, I think. More seasoning. That was it.
And then baked it.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was really good. It was even better warmed up, I thought.
Yeah.
It tasted really, really good.
My cold Mexican dip, that's the one I'm going to turn in.
It was good, too.
You didn't like it, did you?
It tasted like a 3.5-layer dip.
You kept telling me, this needs
Have you ever had a good 7-layer dip? Chell made 3.5-layer dip.
He kept saying, it needs meat or beans or something.
It needed a guac layer, a bean layer, a meat layer, and then, did it have black olives? I can't remember if it had black olives. But it was missing 3.5 ingredients.
It was like
and taco sauce.
It was like a cream cheese ranchy type base layer with lettuce, black olives, peppers, stuff like that on top.
You can't tell everybody you're turning that in. You're not going to turn that one in.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. Because there could be ringers and people be like, well, I'm voting for Chell just so she could beat Malcolm. I'm going to do Christmas tree dip.
I thought my success
with,
was your success.
It is. We both kind of win.
I like that dip a lot.
It was really good. It was.
Just needed meat.
I mean, it was. I wouldn't say it was really cheesy, but it was like it was a sour cream based dip. So if you've ever had like I don't know like the texture of a French onion dip or something like that, or crack dip, it reminded me of kind of a Mexican crack dip.
Yeah,
and
that's
it was.
True.
I mean, it was good. I think it kicked it off with the little Tropical I whipped up for you.
Yeah.
It needed that, which is like a Mexican style vinaigrette.
That was the part I wasn't going to talk about.
Oh. Why weren't you going to talk about that? That was the best part.
That was the secret ingredient.
That's what everybody liked.
I know.
Oh, that's the secret ingredient?
Yeah.
That throws them for a loop there, huh?
I also did mini potato skins.
Yes, those were really good.
Yeah.
We just had like an appetizer feast. We watched it snow, drank copious amounts of water, and Diet Coke.
And did appetizers.
And then the next day we did a big jambalaya. We're just going to talk about that too.
Yeah.
But talk about those little potatoes. What'd you do? They were like mini potato skins, but they were like 2-biters. And I thought I liked it better than a potato skin. It's probably more work, but.
Not really.
How'd you cook those potatoes? I was out.
What do you call those potatoes
trap.
that are about that big?
I call them new potatoes.
New potatoes?
Yukon Golds or Redskins? Or
baby potatoes. No, they were gold.
Yukon Gold, baby Yukons?
Yeah. I just roasted them like you do a baked potato. Rolled them in olive oil, AP, and that chimichurri seasoning. Roasted them in the oven. When they got fork tender, cut them in half, scooped out the middles, and laid them all out.
You just use a little teaspoon for that.
Yeah.
That's what's easy about those.
Laid them all out like you're stuffing deviled eggs.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anybody this, but I melted a little bit of butter.
Brushed it over.
And seasoned them real good and put them in just a few drops of butter on the inside of the little
little potato skin.
Yeah. And then I topped it with cheese, bacon, chives. You know.
What'd you do with the leftover potatoes you scooped out?
I just throw them away.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
It wouldn't work enough to mess with?
Nah.
It's kind of like a little potato popper.
That's what they were. That's what they were. They're really good.
And I served them with the homemade ranch.
Yeah, but it was like a thick, so you could dip it.
Yeah.
Like you pick it up and you could dip it. It wasn't like a runny ranch.
Like a Tostito scoop.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, for real. Those were good.
The butter inside of it.
And then Mark's wife and Mikey's wife came down. They stopped at the hot wing joint and picked up like 40 whole wings. And we had all kinds of great grub on Friday night.
Tell me about cooking jambalaya. First of all, let's talk about the pot that you cook jambalaya in.
Okay. So we found these Bayou Classic jambalaya pots, and we actually distribute them here at the shop now. I don't know if they're in stock or not. It's hard to find cast iron now. But anyway,
we don't have any in stock.
It's a big 5-gallon jambalaya pot, and down in Louisiana they have these jambalaya contests where they start off with a mini pot, and it's just like a 1/4 worth there. They've got sizes all the way up to feed 1,000 people. Probably I don't know how many hundreds of gallons. But it's a big. If you think of a big witch's cauldron, that's what the big ones look like. Yeah. This one's like a little quarter-size witch's cauldron. It's pretty good size. 5 gallons is a lot. I mean, it'll feed a lot of people jambalaya. And you basically put it on a stand over a burner, like a jet burner or a propane burner, hook it up to a propane bottle, and that's what you cook everything in. So it's made to cook outdoors. And we've been working on it and got our recipe down to where it's pretty much just dumps. You dump and cook, take out. So we made a.
So can you walk me through the recipe?
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
Okay.
We make this one was a sausage and chicken jambalaya. And for the sausage, we use Country Pleasing andouille sausage. You could use whatever your favorite brand of smoked sausage is. But
Mark said he used that alligator sausage.
oh yeah, he bought Country Pleasing had an alligator and was it alligator and chicken?
Or alligator and beef or
It was
pork. Alligator.
alligator and pork. So whatever it was, they had it. He bought it at I think Walmart has them now in Mississippi.
They do.
I don't know if they have them nationwide, but our branch has them. You can get them from Cooper's Meat Market. That's where it's made down in Florence, Mississippi, your hometown.
They'll ship them right to you.
Yep. But it's
alligator and pork.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. So he put some alligator and pork sausage and some andouille, and we started with the chicken thigh. So you start with an empty pot. It's been well seasoned. Pour just a little bit of oil in there. Don't take much because really you want to render out the fat from whatever you're cooking. And we started with
just enough to like coat the bottom of the pan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just it ain't a lot of oils. You're not deep
like a
frying.
tablespoon or something.
Yeah, it's like you're sautéing basically.
Okay.
So he just did a little pour in there. Got the pot hot. Cut the chicken thighs up. They're boneless, skinless thighs. You just cut them up into bite-sized pieces. We put pork in it too. I forgot about that.
Y'all had some like
We had
pork chop or
pork
something.
butt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we cook our chicken first, get it rendered down, cook the fat off of it. You want to brown it up real good, so you got the whatever, and
You cook it till it's completely done.
Pretty much. You're not trying to burn it up or anything.
Yeah.
But we're not checking internal temperatures because we know it's still going to cook in the jambalaya. But you're really just browning the chicken, and what you're doing is you're rendering the juices out of it and what fat's there. And so you're flavoring your pot the whole time, just leaving some grease in there from all those drippings. And you keep letting that build. And that's what flavors your rice. So once you get your chicken done, you take it out, you throw in your pork. And so it was like a pork roast Mark bought. And we just cut it up, same size thickness as the thighs. I think we used 4 pounds of thighs and 4 pounds. No, it's 3 pounds of thighs, 3 pounds of pork, and 3 pounds of sausage for the amount we made. You kind of keep that equal. So we cut up that pork into bite-sized pieces, browned it off, rendered the fat on the pork, got the pork out, put it in a pan on paper towel, left all the drippings in there. Threw the sausage in, did the same thing. Once you get all your meat browned and out, you can put it all in the same pan at that point, the meat. We cook our vegetables. And I chopped up a bag of onions. I don't know what it weighed. It was probably about 8 medium-sized yellow onions. Diced those. There was about 6 bell peppers, diced that. I think we had some celery in there we diced up.
So are you using a spider every time to
Yeah. Slotted spoon.
Yeah. To get
big slotted spoon.
And you leave all the drippings and
everything because you're flavoring it. So when we throw the vegetables in there and saute them,
that flavor.
They're sauteed in there. That's right. And
are you seasoning it at any point during like the cooking of
no,
the chicken?
Not yet.
Okay.
We don't add any seasoning yet.
Okay.
We're just trying to get the meat juices out of the meat and let the pot. Now the sausage adds a lot of flavor.
Yeah.
You get a lot from it. You think it's going to be greasy, but it's not like building up a ton of oil in there. It's just all good flavor because we didn't add a whole lot of oil at the beginning. Once you get that going, you get your vegetables done, you put all your meat back in, and that's when you season. And we season with king crawl. I use probably about half a bottle. I don't know how much that is. If I had to guess, it's a quarter cup, something like that. We seasoned it.
Half a bottle of the little bottle.
Yeah, the little bottle.
Yeah. A quarter of a bottle of the big bottle. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of by taste. I don't have an exact, like a measurement amount for my Cajun seasoning I put in it. I just look at it. But if I had to put something on it, I'd say a quarter cup would get you there, get started. Yeah. And we put a little extra cayenne pepper in it just to give us some heat. And what else did Mikey spray? Oh, he had a little bit. We had some Tony's in a bottle. He put some Tony's in it. That wasn't an exact recipe on the seasoning. We just try to make it taste good. We want plenty of flavor in it. So once we get all that mixed up, it's time to start adding your liquid. And we used 1 gallon of chicken stock. That's what this pot to cook the perfect pot. So we put our 1 gallon of liquid in there, get that stirred up, get it bubbling a little bit, add our rice, and then stir the rice up, and then you bring it back to a simmer and put the lid on it. And once it starts simmering, you cut the heat down. It's almost off. We're barely holding heat, and we're setting a timer. At that point, it's going about 20 minutes. Once you see the steam start to really come out good out from under the lid, it's time to flip that rice. And that just means you take your big stirring paddle and just kind of bring what's on bottom up to the top. And you just do that a couple times and put the lid back on. And usually, we got this from Stale Cracker when he came to the Shop-A-Versary last year. he adds cream of mushroom and cream of chicken soup to it. So Mark found, and I don't know where he found this, but it said cream of chicken and mushroom. Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's new.
Is that new?
Yeah,
I was gonna say I had never seen cream of chicken and mushroom soup all in one.
So do you add 2
But
cans
we had
of those?
there's 3 cans, I think it was. 3 cans of that went in.
That's why it had the texture
It gets it creamy, but it's really, really good.
Yes, it was the best textured
rice. And you're
jambalaya.
not a big rice person. When you heard we were making jambalaya, he's like, wah, wah. Because you don't like it, right? Or this was delicious.
It was.
So once we flipped it, we add that cream of mushroom soup, gently fold it in and put the lid back on and just let it sit for another 10, 15 minutes. And your heat's pretty much off at this point. Whatever residuals in there, the steam's still holding it in with the lid on it. And at that point, you're ready to serve. And usually you just serve it with, I like it with hot sauce and crackers, or you can eat it with bread if you want to, but you really don't need bread. I like put that on a cracker.
Yeah.
It's good. But
put a little hot sauce on top.
Yeah, but so the pork in it, the pork and the chicken, the texture on them, really good. It's really, it's soft.
The pork's not my favorite.
Yeah.
The chicken's really
Really?
good. The sausage is really good.
So you could do without. I like the flavor of the pork in it too. I like the pork in it. But you could you could use jambalaya. You could throw seafood in there if you wanted to.
Nutrient.
You could use whatever you want. We made it with deer meat.
Yeah.
We made a deer and sausage jambalaya. I've done it with all kinds of stuff. It's really good. It's easy. All you're doing is browning stuff, really, and getting the flavors in there. So if you can cook rice on the stove, you can cook jambalaya.
I think also y'all like to cook with the big old paddle.
Yeah, over fire.
Yeah.
Now, look, those guys at the contest down, I think it's in Gonzales, where our buddies Cajun Blaze go and cook. Adam goes down there, Gotro, and he's the one who told me all about it. I think he's won a couple times, him and his dad. But they make like a traditional jambalaya where.
Do they do mini pot style or the big pot?
They have to start out with a certain size, and I think they can bring their seasoning, but they have to you get onions, you get rice, and you get chicken.
And that's it?
And I think that's about it. And you can bring the seasonings, but you can't. They may give them some sausage too. But that's all you can put in it. You can't, you're not putting cream of mushroom. I don't think they'll let you put cream of mushroom soup. This is a traditional one. And they have to do it over fire. You can't use propane burner.
Okay.
You have to build a fire and your pot goes over it. And that's the way they used to do it. And you have to move the coals around once your pot gets right. And their thing is they're cooking it to the texture of the rice. It's like a real jambalaya. Each kernel of rice is supposed to pop. And I don't know if you've ever looked at one kernel by itself, but it should split almost. It kind of opens up, and it's got a little seam in it. And when it does that, that's a perfectly cooked piece of rice. But it's supposed to have flavor. It's not about the sausage and the vegetable. It's about the flavor of the rice. That's the whole thing jambalaya is about. And so they start out with a small pot, and as they have rounds and they start, I don't know how they judge it. It must be eating a lot of rice. I'd hate to judge that much rice. But they narrow the field down, but the more they narrow it down, the bigger the pot you have to cook. And so each round, and this lasts for a couple days.
Yeah, it had to.
And so, it does. And there's hundreds of people that get in it, and they narrow it down to how many, but by the time you're cooking a big 250-gallon pot at the end. And I guess, you feed the crowds, everybody, because I guess they have, I don't know how many people go to this. It's a big, big event. It's probably like the world's jambalaya cook-off.
Yeah.
Like a Memphis and May, but for jambalaya. And everybody gets to eat. So when you're only down to a few contestants, instead of having all these multiple teams cook little pots, you got to have the big guys cooking one pot each. So it's a lot. But I'd like to go to that sometimes. It sounds fun.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's what got me into cooking jambalaya. Well, the first time I learned how to cook jambalaya in Grand Isle, Louisiana. We were down on a fishing trip, and we were staying with this guy that had a fish camp down there, and he had boats, and they go out deep sea fishing and stuff. But we went over to watch. Man, I remember it. It was the fight that Mike Tyson bit off Vander Holyfield's ear. We were down there in Grand Isle, and the guy made jambalaya, and I said, "Man, I've never seen this done." He let me watch him and kind of showed me how to make a proper pot of jambalaya, and that's how I learned. And that's been
How much different is it than what you're doing today?
Not much at all, really. We did the same.
You put your own touches on it. Yeah. But the basics
the same, yeah. I remember when he first taught me, they started with the vegetables first and then throw in the sausage and meat, and they didn't take everything out like we do now and build the flavors. But you got the same result.
I can imagine everybody has their own.
And they didn't put any cream of chicken soup or cream of soup in it. It was just once you flip that rice, you let it go a few more, like 10 more minutes, and then it was ready. But I've seen people put cheese in it. I've seen people do all kinds of different stuff with it, and that's got me to thinking I was going to do. My next one's going to be like a queso jambalaya. I'm going to do it Mexican style. I bet it'd be good. How could it not, you know?
I mean, you're working with similar. You would just change the flavor profile.
Yeah,
a lot of the ingredients.
You could throw chorizo in it instead of the smoked sausage, and the vegetables are the same. I mean, a lot of it would be the same.
The rice, I didn't know that about the rice that like it pops and there was a seam and.
I didn't know that either. I didn't learn that until I got talking to Adam about the contest, and that's a big thing of what they're judged on is how that rice pops.
Yeah, that would make sense.
See, I'm a pastelaya kind of guy.
I like a good pastelaya too. It's got all those same elements. It's just with pasta, and it's usually cheesy.
Yeah.
And so that's what got me to think. I was like, pastelaya is so good, the cheese sauced up. Rice would have to be because you think of it. I mean, what's the white girl special at La Siesta? Chicken, cheese, and rice. Yeah. It's basically going to be like that, all cooked together. It's basic white girl special. Yeah. It is. Have you ever been there?
Oh, everybody orders.
Yeah, chicken, cheese, and rice.
Yeah, chicken, cheese, and rice.
It's not really what it's called. It's like,
all I'm going to say is I put an order in for this office, and it was like 7 cheesy chicken rice. Yeah. There's not a lot of white girls.
Well, Amart. He turned me on to the steak, cheese, and rice, add mushrooms and onions, and it's a fire dish at La Siesta.
I bet if you throw some jalapenos on there.
Oh, yeah. Man, that
really
would be good. Spice it up.
Heck yeah. Do you not like rice?
I do. I love pasta. I love pasta. It's my favorite.
I'm with you. I love a good pasta. I don't know about I can take or leave rice.
You like pasta better than rice.
Oh, yeah. Potatoes. Pasta.
Yeah.
All of it.
Any carb.
Rice just seems too healthy of a carb. I don't think
it is.
We had a tip. I thought it was a pretty good tip, so I was going to read it to you. It was actually emailed to me by a listener named Eric. He would love to see you do more lamb dishes, and you stated on the last podcast that you don't know where to obtain it, really, right?
Yeah. Good lamb. I've seen a guy, there's a sheep farm down the road. That reminds me, I got a correction. I got to correct myself from the last. Go ahead, though.
Okay. He said to check out any halal meat shops. He said that the meat will be local and it'll be fresh.
Really?
Yeah. The meat is not imported or frozen. So basically, he said his store in St. Louis, they take orders on Monday, they slaughter on Wednesday, and you come pick up on Thursday.
Yeah, I bet you they have one of those in Memphis.
Probably.
Yeah, check into that.
But I thought that was a good little tip if you're looking for really good fresh lamb.
My deal with lamb, I've had some bad lamb, I guess. Yeah, sometimes you get it and it's so, I don't want to say gamey, but it's wangy or almost.
It has its own unique flavor.
Yeah, it's a unique flavor. But I've had some that's like fantastic. Like we've had some down in the Caribbean last month, and I was like, this got me wanting to rethink my stance on lamb. I'd be willing to try some. I need to. Did y'all ever cook a whole lamb?
No, it was always
sheep. You're cooking mutton. Whole mutton.
They were. I think you'd call them lambs. We called them sheep. Yeah, we didn't know. Yeah. What was your correction you have to make on yourself?
So last week I got to talking about the recipe we did for brisket shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
In the comment section, they just roasted me on YouTube, which that's fine. That's what the comment section's for. Give it to me. I did something wrong, but on the podcast, I said I did look up. I didn't make notes or write it down, but I was looking up what's the difference in shepherd's pie and cottage pie, and I got into all that. Well, I should have thought about it because it makes sense. Shepherd's pie is with lamb.
That makes sense.
And it was a British dish. They made it first, and I think it came from like the Scottish Highlands where there was a lot of sheep, a lot of lamb probably. And so they coined it shepherd's pie. And cottage pie is any other meat, I guess, that you want to put in it. Typically it's beef, and that's what was made in Ireland. And that's the main difference. But if you think about it, shepherd's, lamb, and anything else is house pie or whatever. So I basically made a brisket cottage pie. But it's my channel. I can call it what I want. It's like shepherd light pie. You get the gist.
Roll off the tongue.
It doesn't roll off the tongue. Well, I said cottage. Who wants to say cottage cheese
I don't
pie
know what a
and
cottage
brisket
pie
and cottage
is.
cheese? That's what I would think.
Nobody's searching cottage
Nobody's
pie.
searching cottage pie. They're searching shepherd's pie. So that was I had to clear that up, and I now went back and educated myself and learned the difference, and it makes sense. It does. I could see the other one called rancher's pie, maybe.
It won't be the last time you're wrong.
It won't be the last, I promise you. But if we're fact checking, I got that one wrong. But I'm here to correct it. So that was the only thing on that.
We also tried something new last week, a redneck margarita.
Yes.
You want to talk about that?
I wasn't thrilled with it. I'm drinking me a Mountain Dew Zero right now. So I got part of it right.
Where did you hear about a redneck margarita?
My buddy Mitchell sent it to me on Facebook. He's like, "You got to try this. Might want to make a TikTok." And it said Redneck Margarita, and it was Mountain Dew and tequila.
That's it.
And that was it. That was it. Mountain Dew. I mean, you're supposed to put it over ice and salt the rim or whatever. I guess you salt it.
It was rough.
Oh man, it was the worst.
It's like
Mountain Dew does not go with tequila.
It's like it intensified the flavors.
It goes with vodka. I've had Mountain Dew and vodka. I have.
I have to.
Do you think trying it with like a different flavor Mountain Dew would work? Maybe.
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe, but it just did not go. You couldn't the initial taste of it wasn't bad.
It was.
And we were drinking. I mean, I think it was like Patron Silver. It wasn't like it was a cheap. With the bottom of the barrel tequila. But it was, I mean, it should, I like Patron Silver. That's usually if I'm going to get me a shot, I'll drink Patron. If I'm going to make me a decent margarita, that's what I'm going for. And I was like expecting it to be halfway decent. Chell didn't even get through hers, and I powered mine down.
It tasted too tequila.
The aftertaste, it amplified that tequila taste.
Do you think
really
using like a gold would have helped? Like a silver
Spotto or something like that? I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't be in a hurry to try it again. It needed something else.
Yeah.
Like Mountain Dew was not citrusy enough. Now maybe I could see adding some Mountain Dew to it, but it didn't have enough body. Like it needed something else. It needed some lime juice.
When you drink a good margarita, you can't even tell there's tequila in it.
Yeah.
You know? This less you know.
It was in there. You thought you were
Right
drinking
up front.
Montezuma.
It was knocking at
It
your
was
front
the
door.
revenge on you.
Yeah.
It was coming out. Yeah. It was not good. I wouldn't advise that one. And it was no mayonnaise and Jaeger drink, but it was not good. I would not recommend it. But I did do a drink for St. Patrick's Day, that Green Wave. That was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. So talk about that one.
It was real easy. I just used Irish whiskey. So you had some Jameson, and then it was Sprite, and then it was, what else did I put in there, Todd? Triple Sec? I forgot.
Pineapple juice, Sprite, 2 shots of Jameson,
And blue curacao. Yeah, and stirred it up, and it turns it into a green drink. And that was I was trying to come up with an idea for something green for St. Patrick's Day, and I was like, pineapple juice has got a yellow color to it when you pour it in. If I mix the blue curacao with it, it would turn it green.
And it did.
And the Jameson went with it great.
It
I
did.
was worried. That was the one element I was worried about, because I never really mixed Jameson with much besides
I
Guinness.
drink Jameson with pineapple.
Pineapple and Sprite. Yeah. It's kind of like
It's actually ginger ale, but yeah.
What was that? It's like a Ubon special, so that's kind of like an Irish special.
Yeah.
It really is. And so that's kind of what got me thinking about that. And I just happened to have some Jameson, so I thought that was a really good drink.
It looked like a Baja
I would
Blast.
recommend. It did. A Baja Blast.
Michael came in when you were filming it. He's like, I want one of those.
It looks just like a Baja Blast.
Yeah. I was like, can't have that one, buddy.
It was good. I would recommend that drink now. That's one I could see ordering today.
So what are your St. Patrick's Day plans?
I'm probably going to find a greenish beer somewhere. If I got a plan. Like, they're not going to have anywhere I'm going. I could probably have to make my own. I don't know. Would that be terrible?
to bring in food color.
If I bring my green food color, I'm drinking a green beer today. My God. I'm going to turn it into a TikTok. Watch.
You will have everybody in there being like, how do you get
the green beer? Yeah.
I want green beer.
I'll sell it. Quarter drop. You buy me a beer, I'll make yours green. How about that? That's a better trade.
Speaking of which,
that's all I'm planning on doing. I'm planning on probably going to get some crawfish and some green beer somewhere.
that's how you celebrate
St. Patrick's Day, yeah.
Crawfish and beer. You know the Always Sunny podcast, Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
They started a podcast recently. They did one where they just got hammered.
The podcast?
Intentionally.
Yeah. That sounds fun. But once you get into it, like it goes south fast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Unless you're there actually taking part of the drinking.
Because I forget who else was doing that.
Joe Rogan did it.
Yes, they did it after their sober October,
Yeah.
like when they went back, and they did like 3 hours of it. I was like, this isn't even funny.
First part was okay. And
Yeah,
then
it was funny at first 3 drinks, but when you get into it, I don't want to hang out with a bunch of drunks if I'm not drinking with them.
Exactly.
I'm probably the same way. Nobody wants to hang out with me after I've had a few if they're not having a few too.
Well, podcasts are like usually audio based, so I cannot even imagine after a certain point you probably can't even understand what people are
what they're
saying.
saying. I can get some of those friends. You'd have to. There's no subtitle for listening to. I don't know if they have anything to help with that. You would blow a sign person out. I'm just WTF? What's that sign? Your guess is as good as mine.
It would be a lot of Malcolm going, "Hey, what do you think about this?"
Here's a great idea. Here's another great idea. We should do this.
So no on that.
No on the All You Can Drink podcast. That's a whole different channel. That's one, you could do a class on it.
Yeah.
You come in. Well, you'd have to have some insurance to do something like that with some people.
You kind of did do a class like that.
Yeah. I turned it was a class. That was like a private event. It was like a celebration.
Yeah, it was more of a private event.
We got into doing Kong rips, funneling beer. And doing shots.
We did. We're going to do a fundraiser again this year for Palmer Home. But last year, we did a big fundraiser for Palmer Home, and the winners of that fundraiser, 5 winners, got to bring them and a guest to the shop, and we hung out all day.
Just had a celebration,
And those people who showed up at that Palmer Home ate and drank more than anybody who's ever come and done a class.
It was so much fun.
I know, they were the best.
They were the best. That was the best event.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite events we did last year.
I'm like,
all we pretty much did was talk and eat and drink with them.
Yeah.
But this year we're thinking on doing something different. Like if we do it, we're talking about doing a
barbecue
crawl where we get like a shuttle to take us around to some of my favorite places.
Yeah. And so we, instead of doing a class.
So everybody's got ideas of what places we got to go to. Y'all throw them out there.
Yeah.
I've got a few in mind, but that's going to be fun.
Yeah. We're going to rent a shuttle and do a barbecue crawl in Memphis.
They're going to hate us. Coming in hot.
But more details on that to come. We haven't.
If Tyler comes, we got to get him.
I'm just going to drive behind the party bus.
You're going to follow behind?
I'm going to drive.
When is that? But that won't launch till
the
after Mudbug, or
it'll go from Labor Day to Memorial Day, or Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Okay. It'll be a lot of the same ways. We're going to feed the family. We're going to pledge to feed the family for a year. Do you remember how much it was?
$25,000 is what we set to raise, and we ended up raising $45,000.
That's awesome. We're going to. I don't know if we'll top that, but we're definitely going to try to raise $25,000 at least for a family.
Yeah. And
they do have some events coming up. Like if you're in the Hernando area, Mudbug Bash is one. Tickets are on sale now for the Palmer Home, and it's a big. This will be the first year it's been back to its full form because of COVID regulations, but they block off a whole street down on the square, and they have someone come in and cook. I don't know how many crawfish they cook, but it's basically you buy a ticket and it's all you can eat. and they just pile them
And they
up
have
in
a
plates.
band and open bar.
bands.
It's a lot of fun. It's
but
April
a lot of different
23rd.
A lot of different restaurants will be there giving out stuff. There's all it's not so if you don't like crawfish, there's still plenty to eat and try. It's a great event. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of like a street party for crawfish.
Yeah.
And that's April what?
23rd.
23rd. I don't know if I'm gonna be there
You're not.
because I'm going to judge a crawfish festival that weekend down in Metairie.
Yep.
I'm excited about this. This will be my first ever crawfish festival to judge.
It's be my first ever crawfish festival.
Oh, really?
I mean, do you consider like Mudbug Bash a festival?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I consider that one in Tunica the one that we used to go to.
Oh yeah.
What
It was an all you can eat. I don't remember what that was called.
Anyway, they had it down at Tunica River Gates when it used to be a barbecue contest. That's how we started going to it.
So what do you got coming up?
That's the most exciting thing.
Your Shop-A-Versary.
Yeah. We got the Shop-A-Versary coming up. We've got a TikTok coming out where I cooked this week. I cooked a tri-tip brisket style.
That's not a TikTok.
No, it's a full blown
YouTube video.
Yeah, but I bet you Tyler gets a TikTok or something out of it too.
Yeah, probably.
But it's a full blown YouTube recipe to show you how I did it on the Outlaw. First time I've ever done that, and you'll have to watch it.
The results were amazing.
Amazing, yes.
The consensus is
I don't know if it's I got to
better
try
than
it just with
brisket.
the regular run of the mill tri-tip, but it was so good.
We'll talk about that next week.
We'll talk about that in depth next week. We have the pizza crust
that comes out on Sunday.
Yeah, the chicken crust pizza comes out Sunday. So if you're listening Friday, you can watch how we do that. That was really good
Yeah,
too.
that chicken crust pizza was.
I
very
did
good.
do a homemade pizza, like a deep dish pizza this past weekend.
Yeah, you and Michael did.
We'll have to talk about that. I got to get better at the crust, but it was good. It was really good. It's like my version of a meat lover's. But
if you need some tips, that Tennessee Mojo video where he does it on the Outlaw was like me and Ashley have used it so many times.
Really? Do you make the dough and everything? Is it easy?
Yeah, it's like 100%. It's worked every single time, never failed.
Really?
For deep dish or like regular pizza?
Regular, but I'm sure you could probably use it in deep dish too.
I want it to rise. I want it to be yeasty and rise up like a Chicago style. That's the one.
All that good gluten up in it.
Yeah, something to make it stand up. That's kind of what I lean back on my Pizza Hut days for that one. Stretch the dough and let it rise, and it was good. It was good. It could be improved on though, but we were in a rush too. You got to have time for that dough to proof. Yeah, that's a big thing.
And you were just kind of doing it. Yeah. On a Sunday afternoon.
But I put all the good stuff on it. I had the sausage, beef, ground sausage, ground beef, pepperoni, mushrooms, onions. I guess you call it supreme.
It was more supreme than just meat lovers.
Yeah, bacon. Threw some bacon on there. We had left over.
I didn't notice that.
Lots of cheese.
Yeah.
Bottom cheese and top cheese. But I did do sauce on bottom instead of sauce on top. I really wasn't going for Chicago style. I was going for just
your style?
Pizza Hut, deep dish Pizza Hut, deep pan, they call it. Pan
Did you make deep dish when you were at Pizza Hut?
Heck yeah.
Did they put cheese on bottom and top or only top?
They put a ring around the outside, like a border cheese.
Okay.
You had these spacers that fit on the pan, and then you'd sauce out to the spacer, and then cheese right up against the edge of it. And then when you lifted it up, and put your toppings on and put more cheese on, and when you lifted that spacer up before you put it in the oven, it created that 1 inch crust all the way around. So, and when you got real good, you could do it without the spacers. I could do that. But yeah, so it was pretty easy though. But the crust is the big thing though, because you start out with just flour in a bag. You add so much hot. It's a mix, like Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut?
Yeah.
Did y'all have one of those big floor stand mixers?
Yeah. But you take it out and you got to let that dough sit. Then you got to portion it out and ball it, let that proof, and then you run it through the pan, stretch it out to the pan, an oiled pan, and put that in a proofing oven, and it has to proof. So it's a process. It ain't just you ain't going to make pizza in 30 minutes.
I worked at Domino's and Papa John's, and both of those places got the dough showed up, balled and ready in pans.
Froze. Oh, in pans?
Not pans, in like a big plastic service tub.
Yep.
Well, this has been.
What? This
was like 1991. I'm talking about how long? That's been a long time ago.
I was working there like 2000.
They may have changed. They may not make the dough at Pizza Hut anymore. I don't know.
But yeah,
But
we
good
didn't have
dough
to
takes
proof
time.
it or anything.
Yeah. Well, some of the recipes I was reading says you can freeze the dough balls
Yeah.
and let them thaw back out. So I guess you can make it up and freeze it.
So I guess you can do that with all bread, probably.
Yeah. But
I mean, you buy dough frozen like Rhodes rolls.
yeah, let them rise.
Yeah, and let them rise.
Huh.
And they don't
That would be
what using Rhodes
whole
rolls.
pack. Just put them all in there, and then when they rise up, just kind of flatten them down a little bit.
I bet it would work.
I might have to try that. That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, it is. Rhodes roll, they're pretty
They're
good,
pretty
too.
Yeah. You could probably stretch them when they got to, you know,
You could make a
make
bunch of
one
mini
big ball out of it. Yeah.
baby pizzas.
We had, like, for the personal pans, we had this stamp. So you put the dough in there and you stamped it with this. It was like a big plastic with a handle, and it kind of made the crust poof out to the edge
Yeah.
and left you the space in the middle of the top. I don't even know if Pizza Hut still makes those. Y'all remember those personal pan
We
pizzas?
made them for
Ball games.
ball games.
Yeah, yeah. You had
Because the Papa John's had the contract with the Mississippi State for football games.
yeah.
So we would make hundreds.
How many? Because I'm
mean-
thinking you'd have to make thousands.
We were. I mean, we would start on Friday and
How?
keep going, get everything
How did
prepped.
how'd y'all get those over there? They have like a truck
It was a guy was constantly running back and forth.
getting pizzas
Yeah.
and taking them back.
By the time he got there and would get back,
It's time to reload.
yeah,
Because I can imagine how many. Because you think there's 60,000 people easy at a stadium
yeah, and you're elbow to elbow with somebody else just doing your one little thing.
making pizzas. Would they just do like cheese and pepperoni?
Yeah,
That was it.
yeah.
So you just knew you were.
Maybe I think they might have had sausage.
Or I
or
bet those
something.
come frozen now. They probably don't make those like
Yeah.
that anymore.
They probably have a little oven in the stadium and just run them through constantly.
Microwave, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, what's that noise back there? Huh?
Don't worry about it.
Worry about it.
Papa's got it figured out. He's back there working his magic. I don't think they fired Papa, did they? Like,
Oh
he's
yeah,
the-
Papa's gone.
He's gone. they brought Shaq in now. He's the new Big Papa.
He does own a portion of it.
He does.
He's like on the board.
Him and Peyton Manning, when he involved with Papa John's,
Yeah.
they might have fired him too. I don't know. They got rid of Peyton and Papa.
I remember Papa got a little loose cannon on his social media
He
for a while.
went a little crazy, probably.
Oh yeah.
He still be posted on there though.
Does he?
Oh, really?
On TikTok.
Is he still posted as Papa John, or
I think
his
so.
his name's John something? I mean,
Yeah.
he's probably still got an interest. They just ousted him as the CEO or founder or
Yeah.
something.
I forgot what it was,
Bought him out.
but he ain't letting it get him down.
No,
He's out there living his
best life.
best Papa
Probably
life.
got him his Papa yacht, everything. Doesn't he? I think it's
His
called
Papa
the Works.
mansion.
It's called the.
Is he really called the word?
If I was him, I'd name my yacht the Works.
It's at the Papa John Schnatter. That's his handle, and we have
Yeah.
more followers than him. Not trying to flex.
Really, I'm trying to flex. Oh.
Well, Malk, that's all I have today.
Well, that's about all I have. Y'all come out to the shop for the anniversary this Saturday, March 19th, from 9 to 2.
Yep.
It's going to be all kinds of demos going on. We're going to have some
We're gonna have
samples. We're
food.
going to have prizes. There's
Giveaways.
raffles going on.
We're giving
Kids
away an
Zone,
Arctic cooler, a drum smoker,
Townsend barbecue supply.
some gift certificates to the butcher shop
That's right.
in Pensacola.
Arctic cooler, you said that.
Mm-hmm.
All kinds of gifts, baskets, T-shirts, spin the wheel, win a prize.
Free hot dogs for the
Free
kids.
hot dogs for the kids, Cokes and balloons,
Sword straights.
and cake. Well, Tyler, what else you got for us?
If you guys want to check out all of Malcolm's favorite recipes, make sure you guys download our app on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. And if you'd like to be part of an awesome barbecue community, make sure you guys check out our Let's Get to Cookin' Facebook community page, where there's pretty much 1 billion people to answer all your questions on there. And then not to mention, you can just post pictures of what you're making that night, and tons of people are going to comment on it.
Yeah. We answer questions on there. I find a lot of good information on there.
Mm-hmm.
People post some really
Yeah, they
good
do.
looking food.
Heck yeah, I get some ideas,
Yeah,
inspiration
me
from
too.
there.
Me too.
And it never fails when we try to have an event that somebody makes a fake Facebook page and sends out invites. So if you get an invite, if you get a friend request from from Malcolm's shop, it's not my shop.
And he
Don't accept it, because a real business page, you cannot send a friend request anyway. So that should be your first flag. But don't
and
click
if they
on
ask for your credit card information.
We would
Yeah.
never ask for anything like
it.
that.
They ask for anything. Don't click on it. Yeah. If it's not from us, You can't get an invite from How to Barbecue Right, Let's Get to Cooking Community,
it's
or
exclusive.
Malcom Shop. So that's right. It's not from us.
If you'd like to connect with Malcolm, it's HowToBBQRight on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and of course YouTube. If you'd like to connect with me, it's Miss Southern Chell on Instagram and TikTok.
It's not on Tinder, I don't think.
I don't know. Depends on how you act. I watched the Tinder Swindler. We got married before any of these online dating apps.
We did. I'm glad. Got you locked down.
Me too, after watching that.
All right. Well, hey, guys, we've had a great podcast. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. And we will see y'all next time. We gone.